all my lawn folks never have Venmo.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
I don't understand why. I told him I'd walk him through it. And he's like, I was like, okay. I was like, it's not hard. If you kind of with broken English, he's like, no, I don't want to even do that. I'm like, okay, check it is.
No.
Such a nice guy. Probably the best lawn person I've had. I'm gonna give him a $300 bonus at the end of the year.
Are you really fancy pants?
It's not fancy pants. He earns it. He never complains. He just in the heat like this. Jesus Christ,
Mr. Hassan, can I please ask for this month's bill? Is this a bad time, sir? Can I get at least half of it?
Okie dokie.
Okay, that's good. Then. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hassan.
You can make that joke because you're Hispanic.
Mr. Hassan, you know what? I'm sorry, Ashley boss. He wants to get the whole thing.
Oh, you prick.
It's not my fault, Mr. Hassan. That's not necessary to call me that, no.
Please tell me you recorded this.
I think, yeah, we're recording.
Please tag this somewhere.
I'll put it seriously in the show.
Put it somewhere and because that is too good to let. I mean, that was magic. Man, ever so often magic happens on this show. In these crazy times, the world just needs a hero to help cut through all the noise.
Well, now you have two.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of your Heroes of Noise. I'm one half of this dynamic duo, and my name is Steve.
Are you sure about that? It's been a while, Steve.
Jesus.
Are you sure your name is Steve? I'm going to go ahead and spoilers, your name is Steve. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode, I believe it's 193. Guess who's back? It's us. Welcome.
Back again.
Thank you. You were a day late and $1 short on that one, but I appreciate it.
I know. I want to see him at concert.
So what's happening, Steve?
Life is good, man.
How you been?
I've been doing great, especially since we got to kind of catch up on the Patron. See, only your Patroners are going to hear this.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Kind of killed the magic, though. I was trying to go for like we were just talking for the first time, but
we got to let people know that we had an amazing conversation about Guar. You know what I'm saying? James Taylor. How did we talk about James Taylor and Guar?
Well, they opened up for him. They opened up for him in
Why are you ruining stuff? What are you ruining stuff for you?
Could you imagine? That would be the show. I think. Who do you think? I think James should open up for Guar, though. Not so much because of merit. It's because I don't think James would want to go on a stage where there's like fake blood and cum all over the place. You know.
Here's the funny part, G. Guar's audience, from the people I know, would be the nicest to James Taylor. From the people I know that like them, it doesn't seem like they'd be douches at all. Because I don't know a douche that likes Guar.
I wonder if they would call him up on stage to do the Salamanizer with him.
What's that?
It's just a song singing about his huge penis. You can call me the Salamanizer.
I like it.
Guar's there. Okay. So we were talking about This Is Guar on Shudder.
Funny.
It's not like I'm going to go into review mode right now, but I'll tell you, I'll give that one a solid 3.5. I'll give it 3.25 out of 5 cuttlefishes. That's what I'm giving that one. I'm not going to talk about this.
I can't watch this, dude.
Yeah, I think I was really like sitting there. I'm going, okay, is Steve going to like this? Because you're interested in just how bands come together.
That's what I want to see from the beginning to the first rehearsals to when they're in the studio writing stuff and then they decide, let's do I want to see from the beginning to now.
There's not a lot of studio stuff.
Okay. All right.
Not a lot of studio stuff. I liked the documentary, but I kind of wish that I would have gotten more out of it because I think they tell some great stories. They do show a lot of because Guar made movies and all these crazy videos. Think of like Pee-wee's Playhouse background, but done in like a Guar, morbid blood, alien, sexual kind of thing. But it's very much like that. They were just these artists from Virginia that they used to. There was this place called the Dairy. There's this building called the Dairy that used to be this an old bottling dairy.
Yes.
That place ended, and then the people that owned the building would, because there was like a big artist scene there, excuse me, back in the 80s, and they would have these artists come and they would like pay them to like rip out asbestos and, do all this illegal shit that was under the table, I'm sure. But these people ended up forming this like collective there. All these artists, they like lived there. illegally, of course. But through, living there and just like networking, they ended up finding these really awesome group of core artists that all had like minds. And then they ended up
so cool
mixing in like the people from the punk scene. And there you have Gwar. That's just a very, very
Do they ever
short.
talk about, this is why we decided to do the monster makeup?
Yeah, they talk about all of that.
And who did it? Who was the first person who knew how to even do makeup?
They talk about that too.
Oh,
it's all there, Steve.
Because so far, yeah, go ahead.
Well, the problem is that I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but because I wasn't really planning on talking about it. But the main guy, the guy that did all of the artistry, that the designs of Gwar, he's a very bitter person now. So it's one of those. That's what I didn't like about it. I mean, it's real, but that's what I kind of didn't care for. It wasn't I didn't care for it. I was just sort of sad. It's like, oh, this is where they are now, where they're still
That's a bummer.
Odds with each other, and it has to do with money and ego.
Oh, bummer. I didn't even know they made that much.
I don't know if they really make that much, but they're still touring. That's the thing. Touring doesn't mean anything. Like,
could they fill Shoreline?
No. By themselves? No. To put it in perspective, Gwar played in Fresno. They played Tioga Brewery.
Oh, really?
In the back.
I thought they were far bigger than that.
No, not right now. They're not.
Dude,
at least not around these parts. So many
people that it's random. Then I thought they were far bigger than that.
I think Gwar could probably do like, say, I'm trying to put it into something that you would know. Are you familiar with the Warfield Theater?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they could fill the Warfield.
That's big, dude.
It's big enough. Yeah.
That means you have a following. Like they could easily pack out Fulton 55.
Oh, well, that's such a tiny little place. Yeah.
Yeah, but you make money. Skrilla.
Have you ever seen the back parking lot of Tioga Sequoia Brewery?
I have never seen I've never seen the back parking lot.
It's pretty big, man. It's
a great venue, though.
It's a nice venue. I don't know how many people it holds actually, but you can squeeze when it's general admission and a show like that, you can squeeze a shit ton of people in there.
Probably like 300, 200 maybe.
I'm thinking maybe like 5.
Dude, that's really dope, man. I really want to because as you know, one of my favorite music documentaries of all time is that I forgot how did I blank on the name?
Huh?
Dude, and the funny thing is, I used to know the name so that's the Metallica documentary.
Oh, God.
I've watched it like 3 times because I thought, it's the making of a great album, and it turned out that it was not.
Yeah, Some Kind of Monster is what you're referring to.
But it's so much studio stuff. And I'm like, look at how they're recording. Look at how they're coming up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Look at how they're doing. I'm like, whoever planned that documentary knew what they were doing. They're like, no, we're going to be in the studio doing this stuff.
Right. See, this one is just a bunch of footage put together years later, and it's a lot different that way. So you're not going to get that recording process, and that's why I was thinking to myself, would Steve enjoy this? I think he'd find it interesting.
I still would love it. I
just don't think that you would be like, that was one of the best, music docs that I've seen.
Oh, well, that's far and few between, man. I think most of the best music docs were planned. Like they're like, hey. They started recording and like shenanigans happened. Like they're like, we didn't plan this, but here we are. I guess this is just like Tantrums and Tiaras. You never know that it's going to happen like that. But according to you, for me, it's a horror documentary pretty much about people who love singing. They are their masks are horrific, bro. And I can't wait to see this.
You'll see that it's more comedy than horror.
Oh.
Like they have them going on the Joan Rivers show and character.
Whoa.
They actually got nominated, and I think they may have won for a Grammy.
For me, I thought they were more Alice Cooper.
No.
Oh, because of the mask. I'm like, they probably bite the heads off stuff like Ozzy.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is they do a lot of crazy shit like that, but it's all with latex. I mean, literally jizzing on the audience.
That is hilarious.
The very first shot you see is this guy, and he's backstage or outside anyway, and he's got these gigantic. Think of like a fire extinguisher type technology.
Yeah.
Gigantic though, as big as as big as this guy basically. And he's got like 4 or 5 of them, and they're all filled with. He's talking about how he has to fill them with blood every night and whatever other, bodily fluids they're trying to simulate. But it's pretty crazy because those things are pressurized and shit can happen. So he talks a little bit about that. But this one's more, like I said, it's I don't know. Like I wanted to be more happy about it. It's just that the story's not that happy. There's like a redemption arc to it, but the whole story of Dave Brockie and his downfall with drugs and the way that he was with the band after a while. Then his rivalry with this other guy whose name I just cannot seem to fucking remember right now. It kind of bummed me out a little bit. I do think it's worth a watch. It's just not what I was expecting for the Gwar documentary. I wanted it to be super happy and end on a high note, but unfortunately, life doesn't really work that way. You know what I mean? Shit happens.
Did you ever buy any of their action figures?
No, I didn't know they had those, but I would probably. Not right now, but I would have.
Oh my goodness, you can make them.
3D?
Yes!
I'm not doing a lot of 3D printing right now,
okay.
but
All right.
no, I am. It's just that, like, you know, because I'm going to have surgery, sanding is a bitch right now. So,
dude, you know how much of a killing you would make?
probably, you know what, you'd be surprised. I did pretty well on the Vecna. Did I tell you about that?
No, you did not.
You know who Vecna is, right?
I do not.
Stranger Things. He's the season 4 villain.
I have not.
Pretty dope
watched it
looking.
yet.
Kind of looks like he could be in Gwar, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, man.
Oh yes, I've seen because on the pictures online they show his
kind of looks like
profile.
Swamp Thing.
Yes.
He reminds me a lot of Swamp Thing. But yeah, so this Patreon site called Hex 3D that I use, they let you, as long as you're paying a certain amount a month, they let you sell the actual prints, the physical prints. You can't sell what's called the STL. In other words, I can't shoot that file to someone so they can print it off. But he's like, if you know, whatever you print, you're welcome to sell. I was selling Vecna's like crazy, dude. I just put it out on Facebook. I said, I'm thinking about putting these out on Marketplace, but I'll try it here first. Bam, 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 bam. I got hit with them to the point where I had to like fix my printer because my printer's like, fuck, dude, calm down.
Damn.
I sold them at like $35 a pop, dude.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
How many did you sell?
Hey, mind your business.
Damn.
I sold like 10.
Huh.
And then, you know, after a while you look online and everyone's selling them. So you kind of have to stick with what's hot.
Okay.
It's it's kind of a side hustle. See, because I want to buy this dog I told you about. So it's my print money is going to a dog.
How much is this dog going to cost?
About probably $2,500.
That's not bad.
No, maybe even 27
That's not bad. Are you willing to travel?
to get the dog.
Yeah.
I don't need to, man. There's this breeder that's like 40 miles, not even 40 miles. I think she's like in Easton. No. Dinuba, which is for the locals. It's really close. It's really close. Just out in the country somewhere.
Now, what breed is this?
A Cavapoo. So it's half Cavalier King Spaniel
Yes.
and then half Poodle.
This guy, why do you want to know the dog, Dan?
It's kind of a dark reason, Steve. Well, first of all, I love dogs.
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
I've got 2 seniors.
Uh-huh.
They're great. They're very youthful, but you know, they're seniors. So I kind of want to have a transition dog.
Oh Lord, that is darkness.
No, it is, but it's preventative because like we had our first dogs. We had this dog named Shay. She was awesome and she lived to about 11, but then she got sick. Well, we also had our Labradoodle who was Marley. And Marley was cool as shit too, but we weren't really anticipating an early death. And what ends up happening is my dog dies. We didn't have another dog there to keep her company. And she fucking flipped. And all of a sudden it was about separation anxiety. She was never quite the same.
I'm with you.
So we're like, let's stop that. You know, dogs need to have company.
And you always want a dog in the house.
I fucking love dogs so much, dude. I don't want a shedding dog though, which is why I'm going with a breeder. Well,
all dogs are going to leave something. That's what I've realized.
Something, but I mean, they have what's called an F1. Mm-hmm. And there's an F1 where it's like you have the actual poodle, full-bred poodle, and then a full-bred Cavalier King Spaniel. And then the F1 is there. It's like 50-50 of each.
Okay.
That is supposed to be the one that sheds the least.
Okay.
And then you have the F1B, which is the mixed dog bred with either a Cavalier King or a poodle. That one, because there's 2 kinds. You have like a super curly haired, more like the poodle look. And then you have like how we kind of like how my dogs are, the dogs that look like they're going to go and roam town to town solving crimes and shit.
Of course.
That's how that looks. And it's kind of like a gamble. But I guess they shed a little bit more, but they're a little more like, their behavior is a little more, what am I trying to say? It's basically you breed out a lot of the faults. I wasn't planning on talking about dogs right now. Getting into this whole dog conversation.
I'm very excited for
the traits is what I'm trying to say. There's some undesirable traits that some of these dogs have, with temperament and things like that. And the F1Bs tend to be a little more sturdy when it comes to that, more stable.
And when are you planning on getting this dog?
I don't know. Whenever I come up with $2,700, I can just
That's the only thing
spend on
stopping
a
you.
dog.
Okay. I thought that there was a timeline.
Nah. I don't really do things that way. I have little savings here and there for things.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy with the savings.
I don't know how people just do that. Yeah, just spend all this crazy money. Good for you. I don't have it. Not right now. I don't have it. But anyway, yeah, there's going to be a dog in this house. And I think I want a female, Steve.
Well,
And I think I want to have, she's going to have the red hair, kind of reddish hair. You know, I think like a golden retriiever or something like that.
I've seen the pictures.
With the white patch.
Oh.
I think I'm going to name her Penny. What do you think about that?
You know what's a downer?
What's that?
My
The name
friend's
Penny?
dog named Penny just got killed by a rattlesnake.
Jesus Christ. Where do they live? Out in the hills?
Coarse gold.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Big 5-footer too.
Fuck them rattlesnakes, man.
But
Don't like them
Penny's
at
a
all.
beautiful name. I love them.
You like snakes?
I love snakes.
Nah, no, not me.
There's only one animal I don't dig too much. And I'm trying to learn to love them.
What's that?
A roach.
Yeah, I don't like those either. Those are like, I'm going to piss you off if we're hanging out and those little roaches that our work run by, those moisture ones. I'm just squash.
Oh, shame on you, Dan.
Yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty. They're not going anywhere. You know? Thinning the herd. Hey, man, I want to tell you something. I know you're not like, I know you do game nights every once in a while. When you do game nights, I'm going to ask you something, then I'll tell you something. When you do game nights, what kind of games are you playing?
We're playing Cards Against Humanity. Things like charade. Playing charades.
You're playing charade? It's really?
Yeah, charades.
Okay, what's you doing, Steve? Okay, 2 words. Okay, it's a movie. Oh, God. No, I'm just kidding. What else you got? I'm just fucking with you.
Things like, what is that thing? It's like mostly card games. We won't do like Uno or not like that. But stuff like that. Why?
Because
we don't do board games.
You don't do board games?
No.
Well, then
We would.
I was thinking that this game, I'm about to tell you about a game that I just fucking
Hit me
love.
with it.
I just don't know if it's too much for you. It's a big ass game. So back in the 80s, Milton Bradley came out with this game called The Dark Tower. And it was basically, it was all revolving around, there was like this circular board with a actual tower in the middle of it. And,
I remember that game.
and the mechanism inside was patented for another, oh God, I can't remember the name of the game, but there was another game that was supposed to have a tower in the middle of it spinning, right?
And this is not in any way like aligned with Stephen King's.
No, not to be
Okay.
confused with Stephen King's The Dark Tower. This was, hold on, let me see if I think I might have the sounds I can show you. It was all like 8-bit technology, and it would have like the coolest, yeah.
remember
Listen,
this. I
it
remember
made sounds
this.
like this. Hold on, I'll show you right now. Oh, wow. Didn't know it did that. I bought this.
Really?
Hold on. What this is an app that you can play the old Dark Tower game on. It's not the same. It
cool.
doesn't feel the same. But where are the sounds at? Here we go.
Ah, yes.
When you heard that shit,
Oh, yeah.
it was
sounds
about
like-
to go down, dude.
Oh, that's really cool.
But anyway, I fell in love with that game. And I did not know until recently that the creator of that technology of the moving tower went to Milton Bradley and said, hey, we'd like to make this completely different game. Well, actually, this is the game, they're talking about a game they want to make. And Milton Bradley's like, nah, we'll pass. Hasbro, I think maybe Milton Bradley became Hasbro at some point. They're like, that's okay, we'll pass. Well, these two guys, a couple years later, they go to like this game convention, board game toy convention kind of thing, and they see their tower now being used for the Dark Tower. So they're like, no, this isn't going to sit well. So they actually sued Milton Bradley and won. So this game has become like a legend status because it was only out for like maybe 6 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Back in like 1981 is when the game came out. And it was selling for like $60, dude. Think about that in 1981.
In 1981, that's like $300.
That's a lot of fucking money, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Restoration Games is this company that has come out, and they do a lot of their stuff on Kickstarter. Was it Kickerback or something like that? But it's a Kickstarter type situation.
Okay.
And I've had this game. I lost the game. And my friend had it, and we would go over, even as like adults, like, we're talking like 18, 19. We'd go and play this fucking game at his house because it was just fun. It was a cool thing for people to sit around you're fighting, you're trying, the whole premise of the game is that you're trying to, you have your own character, you have to go across board to these different frontiers, collecting things. And then at the end, when you collect everything, you go and you fight the tower. It's a really fun game. I'm not explaining it very well, but it's addicting as hell. And we play this game forever. And then like I stopped seeing that friend, and this is just a game that you can't find anywhere. If you were to go on eBay right now and look for this game, the old game, Dark Tower, you're looking at probably $5 complete.
Oh, wow.
Because they stopped making it. It was just this game that there was only, a certain number of games that were put out. And after that, it just became this collector's item, the holy grail, if you will. Okay. And I have been wanting to buy one of these games forever. And I just never, I don't know why. I spend money on more dumb things, but I never purchased the old Dark Tower game. Okay. So Restoration Games comes out. This was right before the pandemic. No, it was like it was 2018. And before the pandemic. And they said, we are making Return to Dark Tower. And it's supposed to be the same, but it's going to be a lot more advanced. And you're using you have to use an app for it and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, this is very cool. I want to get it. I spent I think it was like $125 to back them.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking I was going to get my game in a few months, and then the pandemic hit. So I waited like 2.5 years for this fucking game to come out. It came at the beginning, I think it was like February or March when I got it.
Yeah.
And when I got it, I was just staring at it because I opened it up and there was just so much to this game. I was like, I was kind of intimidated. You know what I mean? I was just like, I didn't want to break all the small little parts out and everything, and then no one wants to play it, and then shit gets lost. Well, it turns out Gil wanted to play this game with me, and it is so good, dude. It's such an addicting game. Like one round for 2 people can last like 2.5 hours.
Jesus.
And it's the same kind of thing, but you have all these pieces. It's very kind of, I don't want to say Dungeons and Dragons like, because it's really not. You're following a storyline. There's several different storylines you can follow in this game, this app.
Yeah.
But the story changes all the time, and it's super difficult. But there's like 2 modes where there's like a competitive mode where 2 people, 4 people can play together to beat the tower, and then once you get good at it, you can start doing like the other mode, the competitive, where you're playing against each other. But I have yet to see a game. I don't play a ton of games, but I do like board games, and I have yet to see a game that is this elaborate with this much like replayability. But the problem is that you're getting what you pay for. So we played this game, and now they have like add-on games that they can do for it, and that's like basically you can get the whole thing for like $300. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot of fucking money right there. But I can tell you, if people out there, if you're playing games, you probably know about this if you're like a gamer, tabletop kind of person. But I know it's expensive. I know that everyone can't afford this game.
This is right up Bucks's
alley. I hit him up personally. I said, this game is for you. And I'm telling you now, Bucks, please listen to me. You can do this. Get this fucking game. It's so good.
Bucks got the Bucks.
Bucks has the Bucks, I think so. And it's their second print. So you can actually go to Restoration Games website and you can get on this campaign and back their second print. And I think I'm going to buy another one, dude, because it comes with all these other expansions and stuff like that. And I mapped it out to where it's like, or I priced it out to where it's like, they have all these things that they're like add-ons, there's little figures and all this kind of shit that you need to play these other games. If you were to like buy them all separately, it still kind of comes out to that price. But if you spend the money and buy the whole package again, you get another game, like another tower and all that. That I would like to keep separate and maybe, sell that somewhere down the line. Because like if you were to go on eBay right now, they're already trying to sell these games for like $500 and they're selling them. I'm not saying buy the game to sell it, but I'm saying if you buy a game like this and hold on to it, it's going to be worth something. So
nice, dude. Check
it out, dude. I was thinking, I wonder if Steve could play this, but I don't know if you'd have the patience to play the game.
I like thought provoking. Like we have the game that Bill and I told you about it before, where it goes through not Siri, but Alexa, where you have to make Alexa say one word. And I like those thought provoking games where it's like, you have to make her say Ukraine. You can't say, this is in Ukraine. You have to make her just say one word and you have a certain amount of time to do this. And I like those thought provoking games. So if this is one of those thought provoking games, I'd love to learn it.
What about strategy?
I like my dad used to he was in love with Stratego.
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget Stratego. When they were playing, man, you couldn't even mess with the board. Let me run into the board and mess up. Oh my God. Stratego. And it would go on for like 8 hours, gee. I'm like, how long is Stratego? I don't even know what you do in Stratego.
We had a Stratego board game. I just cleaned out my game closet and threw a bunch of shit out that we've had for years that were missing pieces and stuff like that. Stratego happened to be one of those games.
So what happened? How do you play it?
I don't know. Never played it, but my son loves it. He's like, I regret it because I took this game to a friend's house and we just ended up losing some pieces and stuff. So he's like, but I want to get this game again. It's one of my favorites. I've never played it before.
Dude, I heard it gets, well, now I'm into, like, the more, I listen to Electric Shock, I'm getting in, I was like, I just tried board games, because Belle loves any sort of game where you have to get everyone involved. It's her thing. So I'm like, you know what, I need to start doing better with the board game thing, where it's like, it's a family playing together. And so I need to start doing more of that. And so I maybe I will look into like stuff like Dark Tower and things that'll be fun for everyone to play together. I'm
telling you, Return to Dark Tower is a game. It's an investment, and it's totally worth it if you put that money into it. But that's a game that's like I put it this way: I would not have spent this money on this game had I not played Dark Tower before and had that nostalgic feel for it. I'm just glad that when I played the game, that it was that game and more. You know what I'm saying? Like I am just so thrilled with this fucking game. It's like so addictive. I could play it every single night. And the cool part about it is that you can actually play. Yeah. You can set the app up because it's completely different sounds for the new game, but you can actually set it up to use those old sounds that I was just showing you right now to get that feel for it. So they gave some love to this game.
They have a base game for $174.
Where are you looking?
At Zulu's Board Game Cafe.
Yeah, so they're already they're raising the price on those too because they're harder to get.
I would pay. It's $174 ain't bad.
But if you go on to, and I can, if you're serious, I can send you the link and you'll end up spending $150.
Really?
Yeah, because they're having a campaign thing right now. It's great, dude. I'm telling you. But again,
I'd probably play it at your house first.
Yeah. And it's a massive game. That's the thing. Like there's so many little pieces to it and shit can get lost or broken. You know what I mean? And like when you spend that kind of money on a game, at least how I am, I want everything preserved. That's how I've always been as a collector. Everything stays preserved. So what I've been doing is I've been replacing the game pieces that we use in the, like that come with the actual game. I've been 3D printing other pieces to use that are more sturdy. And then I just keep the other ones in the box.
Huh.
So, it's extra for sure. I'm doing the most for sure.
But I still will play. I wouldn't mind playing it.
It's really fun, man. You guys should come over sometime. We'll play. I'm thinking it'll happen in maybe April 2025.
My birthday month, huh?
April 15th.
Your birthday month is October.
Nope. See what I did right there? Again, just proving my loyalty to you.
It's not October?
Yours is April 15th, right?
No.
Your birthday's not April 15th?
Yeah, it is.
I know.
But it's not. No. It's not fair because it's tax day. That's a cheat code.
No, I didn't even think about it.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Your brain, I know, but your
I'm just a good friend, Steve.
No, the subconscious is thinking about it.
I just know dates. But I will go ahead and give it to you that at least you were within 1 month either way. At least you were in the season.
Your birthday's not in October?
No, it's in November.
Must be November then.
Yeah. Want to take a guess on the date?
November 8th.
Oh, so close. The 6th. You get a C-, Steve. That's okay.
Because I know it's in the beginning.
November 6th, folks, if you want to send me gifts.
Oh, shoot.
I like gifts.
This year, Dan.
Oh, don't. I'm not going there today, Steve.
Never mind.
I'm not going there today. We haven't talked to these people for a while. I would like to stay in a good mood.
My brain just seized.
Hey, you guys won't hear this right now, but shout out to anyone that's over at C2E2 right now. I wish I was there with y'all. I really do. I've been looking online, looking at the pictures and the fun times. Looks like you're having a good time. I realize it's not going to be as good of a time since I'm not there, but try to enjoy yourselves. Oh, yeah?
Oh, of course not.
Just kidding, folks. I'm really jealous that I'm not there this year. Surgery, though, will keep you out.
Oh, just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just to let everyone know. We're going to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Why am I laughing? If you have never heard this show before, just listen back anytime and you'll see.
We're going to go.
I'm telling you that I want to do this sooner than later to lock it in. I cannot do the Steve Hudson. I'm going to wait till the week of. Can't do it.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem. Dan doesn't want to go on Halloween.
No, Dan can't go on Halloween.
doesn't want to go can't either way.
I'm going to be off of work for 2 months post-surgery, and then I come back pretty much right around that time. Do you think my work's going to want to give me time off? I don't think so.
You're the man. You can get whatever you want.
Yeah, you know where I work, man. Stop it.
Hey. But yeah, I'm very excited about everything except one horrible detail Dan broke out. That's almost making me just like, what the hell were they thinking? But other than that, man, I'm really excited about the whole thing.
Are you referring to the Weekend Maze?
Yes, dude. What the hell were they thinking?
I think it's going to be cool. I don't know what they're going to do.
It's corny.
But I think it'll be cool.
It's corny as hell. Rob Zombie to him? Jesus Christ.
I think it's just going to be a bunch of mirrors. That's what I think is going to. I still think they'll pull it off.
Young. They're skewing young. They want younger people to come in.
Sure they do.
That's ridiculous. I don't want them in there. It should be 30 and over. Even though I went when I was 20 still.
I want them to bring back the Us house because we missed it. I would be happy with, let's see, what are some of the greatest hits games?
Oh, Stranger Things house was great.
Which one?
The Stranger Things house.
That was fun.
That
I'm a
was
little Stranger
really
Things out by this point, but I have a feeling it's going to come because they got the Vecna character and everyone... You know, it's not like we haven't heard Master of Puppets enough already. God damn it. With the Master of Puppets.
Yeah, I heard that they were, I heard about that. I've never heard the album, so it's not going to bother me, but people are like, we get it. I'm like, man, I don't know though, man.
It's my favorite Metallica album, but and I will say, not to sound like I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, you're wearing that concert shirt? Name 3 songs. I don't want to be that guy because I'm not. But I guess I'll just say that if it takes Stranger Things and the character of Eddie to bring more kids into the rock and roll metal circle and listening to a damn good album, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? It's just that it's social media's fault, Steve. And it's not even social media's fault as much as me looking on social media. You get beat down with it after a while. You know what I mean?
I totally. And also
too much of a good thing.
You binged it, right?
Yeah.
That might have had something to do with it. If you were as a weekly thing, it probably would be like drip, drip, drip. Right now, it's just like every other. And I haven't watched any of it only because I've heard mixed reactions where some people I've talked to are like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's time to wrap it up.
You know what I think about it? Because we never talked about it and I wasn't planning on talking about it, but I'll just give you kind of like a quick idea of how I feel. I still think that it's good. I do think that it's a better season than say like season 2, which was shit. But the problem for me is that I'm not invested in it anymore.
That's the thing.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like the story's not there and the acting's not. I'm sorry. Millie Bobby Brown, she just really can't act. That's just my opinion.
Whoa!
But she does fine. It's just that she plays 11 and 11 has, she's still learning how to speak properly and everything else. She does fine in the Stranger Things realm. But for me, I just lost interest in a lot of these characters. It's not that I dislike them at all. I think I just outgrew the show or something. So yes, I watched it because I've been this far invested into it. And I don't know, man. It was just okay. It was just all right with me. I didn't get the whole fucking enthusiasm this time around.
Well, no one really was. I mean, they talked about it a little, but it didn't take over Twitter like it did before.
Well, listen, I think it's like I said, I just sold a shit ton of Vecnas. So the fandom is definitely there. And but it's just like, I think it's taken on the more of like a meme-like quality at this point.
Yes, that I can understand. Whereas like
Kate Bush running up that hill and all that shit, it's just over. It's like what terrestrial radio stations do to good songs. They just beat you down.
According to the internet, it's like the best song ever. I've never heard it yet, but everyone's like, finally, other people are hearing it with one of the best songs of all time. I was like,
running up the hill.
Yeah, I gotta check out that song one day.
You want to know something? Hold on, here, let's do that now. I will say, I've always hated that song, Steve.
I'm not a big Kate Bush person.
I'm not at all. And if you watch the video, it makes it worse. But I didn't like the song then, and when they played it, I guess I don't know, maybe it made it a little bit better, but it's just, here, what do you think? I'm not going to play the whole song. That right there bugged the shit out of me. Fast forward a little bit. And then they do this.
If only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building.
Yeah.
I have heard that song before.
Yeah. It's
Why
fine.
is that the one that people are losing their minds over?
Because of the character.
And
one
also,
of the characters
people
and how
like
it-
Kate Bush too, though.
What's that?
People dig her.
Yeah, it's. I'm not hating. It's just I never liked that song. I was really surprised actually that it got like, I think it's just the people that pick these songs and they know, okay, we can meme the shit out of this song.
No question, dude.
But good for her, man, because I think she
Yeah.
made like $500,000 off of Stranger Things with this song. I'm not hating on Kate Bush. I'm not hating at all. I never really cared for the song. But yeah, I'm sure Metallica's not doing too bad either right now.
They never are.
They never were. I'm surprised Lars isn't all pissed off about it.
Dude, that dude still to this day after that Napster thing, I was so mad.
Oh, they're fully on board. You look at TikTok. Have you seen them doing their thing on TikTok?
I have not.
They're just rocking out to the song and they're putting it in their concerts now and stuff like that. No, good for them. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
well,
be
no.
that guy, but
That's real. I mean, Lord. It's funny because speaking of older songs, Belle and I were rocking out to a song we hadn't heard in years. I was like, hey, remember that song, Catch Me, I'm Falling? And she's like, yeah, that song was good, right? I was like, maybe we're thinking about it being better than it actually was. No, it's a good song, Dan.
Catch Me, I'm Falling. Now, I know a song called Catch Me, I'm
Falling. Da, 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 da. You know that song.
Na, 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 na,
Yes!
na.
I was like, hey, I hadn't heard that song in a million years. It's a good song, dude.
Was
I
it
was
Pretty
like, hey.
Poison?
Yes. And we didn't know that either. She was like, I think maybe Madonna sung it. I was like, I'm going to go on a limb and say she did not sing that song. But I wouldn't have guessed Pretty Poison, though.
Now, when you say Catch Me, I'm Falling, the first thing I thought of was an 80s song from the band Real Life back in the day. They had a song called Catch Me, I'm Falling.
Oh, really?
And that was like
I've
their
never heard of Real
sophomore hit.
I never heard of Real Life.
Let's see. I don't know if you've heard this song. Let me see.
Catch me, I'm falling
No. I like it, though. I like it. I like it.
Never heard that one?
I do like it, though.
Sophomore hit. Real
I like
Life.
it. I like it.
They had a
It's
better
adorable.
song, though.
What's that?
I'm finding it right now. Send Me an Angel, Steve. Have you heard that one?
Send me an angel. That was a scary ass behind video.
This one? Do you feel lucky in love? That's how he sings it.
Dan, you know how freaking scary this video was?
What's up?
You know how scary this video was? There was a werewolf.
I don't remember the video.
Yeah, there was a werewolf in this video. I used to avoid it like the plague.
Open fire on my burning heart.
Angel.
Never been lucky in love. You know where I saw those guys, man?
What's that? What's that?
Solid gold, baby. Marilyn McCoo said,
Woo,
come on out,
Marilyn
real life.
McCoo. Oh, Lord, she was, yeah, man.
Marilyn McCoo and who was their host? Andy Gibb was a host for a while. I can't think of Marilyn McCoo's
It was Marilyn
host.
McCoo and somebody else.
Rex
Yeah.
something or other, maybe?
That was a good show, though.
Oh, I loved Solid Gold, man. I love that they brought Solid Gold back on The Boys. I said
You
a
know,
hip hop. Or no, what song was it he was doing?
That's right. I
Five,
think it
Fab
was.
Five Freddy told me everyone.
Yeah. Remember that dude from That's Impossible that looked like a mannequin?
That's impossible. That's incredible.
That's incredible. He looked like a mannequin.
Yeah, John Davidson.
He did not look real, dude.
He looked
I was
like he had like you could snap his hair on like a Lego
yes,
block.
dude.
Yeah, I remember that
But
guy.
man, he was built to be a host, wasn't he?
Oh, for sure.
I wonder if he's
That's
still
incredible.
alive.
That was a great show.
That was a really. Oh, you know what? You're about to laugh at me because okay, this is a great story before we get into reviews. So recently I've been listening to this show about one-hit wonders, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just dissect one-hit wonders, what happened to them, how the song came about, why they never have made another hit. And I've known when I've listened to the show, every single episode, I know more about the song than sometimes they do. I mean, song, and I was like, oh, it's fun to listen to. Then comes a song. Then I'm like, this is a one-hit one. I've never heard this song before. So I call my mother. And everyone on the episode is like, oh my gosh, we've heard this song a million times. Let's talk about it. I'm like, I've never in my life heard this song. I call my mom and sing it to her, and she gets quiet. And she said, Steve, are you joking? I was like, no. She said, before I even invest in this conversation, are you kidding me? I was like, no. She said, how haven't you heard this song? And we get into a big, I was like, you know what? I'm going to call Belle. I call Belle. I said, Belle, have you heard this song? When I say the first word, she starts singing it. I said, you know this song? She's like, are you seriously don't know this song? Okay, so here's the song.
I want to play.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I love you more today
Than yesterday.
Oh my God, you know this song?
Yes. Now I just believe you all the time when you're like, I've never heard that song. I just believe it's, come on, dude.
I've never heard this song. And I know all the other one-hit wonders.
I couldn't tell you who sings it.
I don't know either. But how, because my mom was like, how could you avoid the song?
And how much better into my
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I've never, and then I said, this is a good song. But I've never heard it. And everyone I talked to is just like, I cannot believe you were able to avoid that song. And everyone on the podcast, I was like, they all are acting like this is just the most common song in the world. And it's not. But Belle was like, I heard this all the time and I don't even listen to this sort of music. This was everywhere.
I mean, really, really everywhere. Like, you couldn't avoid it. That's the crazy thing about it.
I don't understand how
and it's
everyone
not
knows
even
this
from
song.
our generation. That's the thing.
It's a great song, dude. A great song. I was like, because my mom was like, you would have loved that song. It's your type of song. But she got real quiet and she's like, before I even entertain this conversation, are you serious or are we just joking? I was like, I'm serious. And she's like, I don't even understand how you could not have heard that song.
I like that your mom says the same shit to you. Before we even get into this, are you messing with me right now?
That's what she
funny.
said. She's like, I don't want to invest in this conversation. But she said, I cannot believe you've never heard that song before.
Pretty crazy.
But it's a fan. It definitely was added to my playlist. I said, this is a fantastic song. It sucks they don't have more. But yeah, it was just a one hit. And because the guy left 3 months later. They're like, man, this group is for the birds. Out. But yeah, great song, man.
Glad you like it, Steve.
More people should listen to it.
Hey, speaking of songs, can I segue into an email?
Let's sieg into one.
I'm going to segue into this email real quick because it's not often that we get it. So I'm very happy about this.
And
This
is
comes
for
from
you.
someone you might know, Steve. Her name is Favon.
Hey!
Yeah. Shout out to Favon. I'm glad she's still with us here. Let's see what she has to say.
She's not going to miss her shot.
She says, hi, heroes. I know you guys don't hear from me as much as before, but please know this is still my favorite podcast. Not just because I adore you, Dan, or because I love you, Steve. It's so much that I would give my life for him. She's going to give her life for him.
Oh, come on, my wonderful Favon.
She says, but because it's an awesome podcast, and I hope I can catch up with you when I'm in Fresno next weekend. Spoilers, folks, that did not happen. I had COVID-19, and Steve was out gallivanting across the
13
states.
hours, yeah.
13 hours on the road, trying to get to an ebony and ivory moment, which eventually happened. But she says, because you bring all of your listeners so much joy, and I hope that's the case when we're here, because it's been months, but you know, when we're here, I'd like to think that we give you joy. I feel a little rusty myself today, Steve. I don't know about you. It says, I want to try to return the favor. Attached is not one, in all caps, but 2, in all caps, podcast intros I recorded. Now, this is highlighted in yellow, Steve. It says you must listen to them in the following order. So number 1, it says, We Need Heroes. She says, this one is a remix of the remix I did for you guys. It's a remix of a remix, Steve.
Of a remix.
I believe she's referring to our, if you have our Patreon, if you follow us on Patreon, that intro song. So it's a remix of that. I'll start there. You ready?
Let's do it,
She says, I would love for you to listen to them for the first time on one of the next episodes to get your first impression. I hope you like them. So, Favon, this is exactly what we're doing right now. Here we go. Oh, P.S. Dan, feel better soon. See how she pays attention? Your aunt pays attention to me. You, however, thank you, Favon. Look. All right, so this is the first one here. This is, as she's titled, We Need Heroes. Here we go.
We do.
These are some crazy times. Got your vice, I got mine. Some people choose to smoke and drink. I choose to spit these rhymes. Just trying to make it through. Batman's gadgets won't do. Just need a hero to cut through all the noise. Now we have two. To the ladies and all the gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my friends. Steve and Wildin' Out. Best podcast all around. Let's make some noise for the heroes of noise. Everybody, let's scream and shout.
Your aunt made that. Pretty awesome. I like it. It's like it's an upgraded version of what we already have.
We got an updated joint.
She went to the studio and did that shit.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. Thank you, Favon. I love it. I think I will put this as the new. We're going to go ahead and just. Well, hold on. Before I say that.
Yes. See, we got to see the next one.
Yeah. So this one is called Now We Have Two. Now, a little backstory. She reached out to me a few weeks ago, and she said, if you guys listen to our intro like on this show, backstory, Steve asked me one time, he said, hey, I want you to just say, well, now you have two, and then send it to me. And then I didn't know what he was doing, but he ended up creating our theme song. Or intro song. So she had asked for the samples of that. I said, I don't have it. I don't know what he did with it. Did she ever get back in touch with you? Did she try to get the original sample from you?
No.
Okay. Well, she didn't have it. And I'm kind of glad because I don't know if I really want to hear my voice again on that. But this is the new one. I never liked it in the first place. I'm like, well, now I'm going to fuck you in your ear. You know, that's just me. But anyway, this one's called Now We Have Two. It's brand new. Here we go. Oh, shit.
Oh no, it's none of those. It's Steve and Dan coming back to attack a brand new episode. Don't be scared, don't be afraid. They'll cut through the noise, they'll save the day. The heroes of noise, talking reviews, movies, TV, music, or whatever they choose. No matter what, you're in for a treat. Get ready, get set, get up on your feet and make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two. Make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two. Make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two. Make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two.
Welcome to Heroes of Noise. My name is. See how I like that? Yeah, kind of digging that one.
I love that one, Jay.
Kind of digging that one right there. I think they're both good. But I think it's safe to say that we now have a new intro song for our Patreon.
Absolutely.
And maybe even this one sometimes.
You can toggle it, G. You can toggle it. I love that. Well, now that's dope.
Yeah. I like it a lot. We might have to like change it up week to week sometimes. Maybe once a month we'll play the original and then the other time we'll play. Yeah, that's good shit.
That is dope.
I like it a lot, Favon. I'm not bullshitting you. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I waited to listen because I'm pleasantly surprised.
Jeez.
That's fucking sick. That's
I
awesome.
did not expect that.
Yeah, I like that. You know what?
That's professional.
That's some professional shit right there. You just classed us up a whole bunch right now.
Woo!
Gonna make me have to up my game a little bit after that.
Jesus, dude.
I can't come in all, hey, everybody, what's going on? I've been feeling well this week. You gotta come in like, what's happening?
I mean, that's gonna, like, if someone's having a day,
Yeah.
if that music starts, they're gonna be like, hey, let's do this thing.
You know what? Fuck it.
Oh no, it's none of those. It's Steve and Dan coming back to attack a brand new episode.
Isn't that flow
Don't be
too,
scared,
Steve?
don't be afraid. They'll cut through the noise, they'll save the day. The heroes of noise, talking reviews, movies, TV, music, or whatever they choose. No matter what, you're in for a treat. Get ready, get set, get up on your feet and make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two. Make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two. Make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two. Make some noise. We needed a hero, and well, now we have two.
So nice I played it twice.
I love that.
That's dope. I really like it. Wow, we got a gift today. I was not expecting that. That's fucking awesome.
Wow, dude.
That's dope. What'd you guys think, man? If you liked it, let us know. Let Favon know.
Yeah, you're going to be getting a lot of calls for intro music.
She put some work in right there. You guys, you know, with your little intros, you'll be all right one day.
I'll be all right.
You'll get there. You'll get some hair on your chest.
Little hi-hat, drum joints.
Yeah.
You know,
You ain't gonna have what we have, of course.
Yeah, not yet. Too.
Is it safe to say, Stu, we might have maybe
we might have to. I mean, not only
one
do
of
we
the
have
best
one
intros out there, maybe? I don't know.
Look at man. we don't just have one intro. Now we have
two, motherfucker. Wow, that just really amped me up, man. I like that.
Really good, dude.
Thank you, Favon. You killed it. And I imagine Corey's involved with this too.
Of course.
I'm assuming so. So thanks to the both of you on that. That's fucking dope.
That is amazing. And you're going to be seeing him at NAMM doing the next time you come, he's going to be doing a seminar.
Really?
Yes.
Next year let's see what happens next year, man. I think next year is going to be a fantastic
April. It's in April.
A wondrous 2023.
Dude, your shoulders going to be all dope. You're going to be able to doing push-ups on the stairs.
I'm going to be all jacked and shit.
Looking like crazy looking, shoot, who would you know this buff?
Brian from Pop Culture Leftovers.
Hey, jeez, man.
You seen that dude lately?
Listen, bro, he texted me the other day. I almost was like, look at Hemsworth over here.
My man is, he's getting yoked, dude. It's crazy.
Bro.
And you know who else is on his way to getting yoked? Super
Q.
Q.
Yeah, Q's getting yoked.
I don't see those delts, brother. I see what you're doing over there.
I see you, player. Am I going to have to start putting out videos of me? Is that what's going to start happen?
I love it, man. I love seeing people like better themselves like that and documenting that. And, you know,
dude.
So that's awesome. I can't wait. I'm jealous. I'm envious of everyone that's doing this right now. There's this whole thing going on in a private victories page and excuse me, on Facebook. It's a private group and people are killing on there. And I'm using you guys as motivation when I'm able to actually do these things. Cause I'm sorry, a little walk is not going to do for me what I need it to do. But
well, who started the private?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who started that. It's a leftover army thing.
It's a leftover thing, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure who actually started the group, but it was pretty dormant for a long time. But if I'm being honest, Brian kind of brought life back into it again because he's quit drinking. I don't know how he's doing this weekend,
great.
Of course.
He looks great.
He looks great, man. He's doing his thing and doing it right, apparently. So good for him. It's a total inspiration, though. I'm serious. I really want to get back to it.
Dude, I think I told you I was talking about steroids with some buddies of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And they were telling me about the downsides and the upsides. One dude, you know, he's a personal trainer. He trains people who take steroids. And he's like, yeah, the downsides are just astronomical, bro. So he was like, but testosterone is totally available to people our age.
No implication on Steve's part, being that we're talking about people getting in shape, that there's steroids involved.
No.
I know. I was just putting it there just in case.
No. I'm saying people our age, when you're at 40, you know, our testosterone just isn't where it was when we were young. So if you want to get like big, like, yeah, you're going to have to get, you know, the shots in order to, and I was like, man, it's funny how first me and my buddies were talking about steroids and testosterone. Everyone's getting in shape all of a sudden. There's something in the air. I think people are wanting to better themselves.
I think so.
Steroids is out of the question. That's not bettering yourself. But I think everyone are trying, how do I get yoked out? I'm like, it's a good idea to want to get yoked. Just do it naturally. What Brian is doing is great. Do it like him, where it's like, no, you're going to show results because of what you're eating and what you're not drinking. It's just going to be steady results. That's beautiful.
May I recommend some of that Alex Jones brain booster as well? No, I'm just kidding.
Now,
Steve, we're gonna listen to some. Maybe we should start doing that, Steve. We can start talking like this on the show, and we can be peddling brain booster and stuff like that. You know, all these supplements are here. It's all 100% clean, and I think you guys are gonna like that. There, it's gonna help you figure out conspiracies and shit like that.
That's a great Alex Jones, by the way.
That's my first Alex Jones ever, and
really
probably my last.
I mean, that dude, he has to pay that family $40 million.
I love it.
That's one family.
That's one
Other
family.
families are going to start rubbing their hands together.
Well, that was just the, I think it was the civil, if I'm not mistaken. That's where they won the $4 million. They were asking for $150 million, and they capped it.
Now they have it at $40 million. That's what they have. They have to pay $4 million in the civil. And remember, they had that. What's the other one?
That's what I was trying to think of right now. Was it defamation?
No, it's
no.
Oh, damn! What's the word?
We're both doing it. That one, civil, and oh my god. That one is what we're talking about.
Yeah, they ruled and it was unanimous in the jury, $44 million.
They've actually fined him that?
They've already fined him that.
Oh, because I was hearing talk of it being like up to $9 million.
Let me look it up for sure.
I thought like they were saying like the max they were going to get for both of those lawsuits was going to be a total of around $9 million. But that was speculation. I like your number better. I'd like to see that motherfucker go so far under.
Woohoo!
He's gonna be on the street selling his supplements.
Alex Jones ordered to pay extra $45 million in punitive damages.
Good, motherfucker.
And that's to one watch.
Did you see those videos of the judge clowning him?
Dude.
And he like leans into it still.
He really does.
She was like, "You're lying. This is not your show. You are lying. You cannot lie here."
And for his lawyers to hand over the phone.
How do you think that conversation went?
Dude. It was a fun thing to watch where just sometimes the right person wins.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Rarely.
I'll take that over a Johnny Depp, Amber Heard any day of the week.
Yeah, because, and man, that's even, as time goes by, that's getting uglier and uglier, dude. Johnny Depp is not a good person.
No. They're both terrible human beings.
And I was like, man, this is just what he did is, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I didn't think it was going to be $44 million. I thought it was going to be like 20. I'm so glad that because in order to get this money, it has to be a unanimous decision. And that whole crew was like, no, we have to do this. From what he did to them, their kid was killed. And what he did, $44 million. And that's just one. The next, it's coming, bro.
But this motherfucker is going on InfoWars right after his court dates and still lying.
And bro, that's going to add to the next court date. The next time someone sues him, they're like, you did the same thing as soon as you left. And so it's on and popping. People need to watch out, man. I think a lot of people are going to start getting sued.
How much fun was the prosecuting attorney having with him?
Oh, he was
like, no, Mr. Jones. Your lawyer sent us this. It's so funny. 12 days ago, he was like relishing in that shit.
He couldn't wait to wake up the next day.
Yeah.
He
probably couldn't sleep that night. I'm going to go in there and just kill today.
Because it's unheard of.
Yeah.
For it's like, let me give you the key to, it almost makes me think that his lawyers were like, let's lock this. Let's get this douche out of here. Give them all the information they need.
That's fantastic, man. That's good shit. You know what other good shit's going on, Steve, real quick before we get into our reviews? I just want to know, I know you feel good about this. I would like to know your opinion on the Wakanda Forever trailer.
In simple terms. It's the best trailer I've ever seen in my life.
Really? Okay, that's a bold statement, so I'd like to hear why.
Number one, the song choice.
No Woman, No Cry? Excuse me.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, as soon as it started, mind you, the first time I watched it, as soon as it started, I was like, yeah, this is heavy. And then when she said, good friends we've had, good friends we've lost along the way, I was done. And then it kept going. And then when Angela Bassett does her thing, Angela Bassett, dude, she should have 18 Oscars. 18 Oscars. And that woman, do you know how old Angela Bassett is, G?
She's got to be hitting 70 here pretty soon, right?
She looks incredible. Incredible. But yeah, man, it was, I was weeping as soon as Good Friends Along the Way. And then when you see Chadwick's mural, I don't even know that might not even be in the movie, dude. That might have just been thrown in for, whatever. But dude, seeing Namor, the Atlanteans.
They're not Atlanteans.
They're not Atlanteans?
It's not going to be Atlantis. I don't know the name of where they're coming from, but if you'll notice, Namor has more of like almost like a Mayan or Aztec type look to him, and they're not using Atlanta. It's a different place.
Oh, that's cool. And I just loved at the end where you see someone in the suit.
Yes.
And
my guess it's Shuri. I'm just telling you, that's what I think is going to happen.
That's what everyone thinks, and I think that's what it is. But when it says Wakanda Forever, I was like, holy cow, man. I think it's going to be, it is definitely the best trailer I've ever seen in my life. No trailer has ever made me feel this. And the uphill battle that Coogler had to go through in order to make this happen, he's just incredible. He's an incredible director. And so, yeah. Great. And then, the Kendrick splicing into It's Gonna Be All Right. That's really smart. That's really smart. It's something I wouldn't have thought of. So yeah, what did you think?
It looks incredible, man. I'm actually more excited for this one than I was for the original. Like I was looking forward to a new hero coming out and everything. Yeah. And I knew, we've talked about this many times on the show, but I knew like the importance of Black Panther's appearance in the MCU, all of that. and I don't want to call it hype. I mean, I guess it was hype, but at the same time, it was a real thing. You know what I mean? And it people all over got to see themselves in a superhero role that looked like them. And I get
Same
that.
thing's going to happen now with the Mayan. Like, people are going to see, oh my God, you know, this is ancestry that I've never even seen represented.
Right. Yeah. And it's cool that they have that element there, but I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like they can actually, if they do this right, if Coogler does this correctly, he's going to make a better movie than the original.
And
Chadwick's not even in it.
And the thing is, we all have to understand that it might not make the money that the other one made. And it's going to do fine, but it's going to overall be a better, like, people are going to be like, no, this is a better film. Even though even though Chadwick's not in it, we all miss him. Ryan Coogler stepped to the plate and made it happen. I am so excited. And you know you're supposed to wear white, right?
No.
Yeah, wear white. If you want to. But it's a kind of a rule.
You're going to have to send me some information on this, sir. Got to make sure I'm not showing up weird. You
won't be.
Like, I don't want to be walking in and I'm the only non-brother in the house dressed in a dashiki or something.
You're going to be the only non-brother not wearing white. I think it's a rule, by the way. I mean, I remember there was a video. I made a video on it, and everybody was like, oh, you know you're wearing white. I'm like, yeah. I'm in. I was at the meeting. I took down notes. We're wearing white. So
getting back to what I was saying real quick. Sorry to jump off of the trailer for a second, but did I see you at the concert, James Taylor? Were you wearing a dashiki, sir?
No, it's an African shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an African shirt.
Okay. All right.
But I was representing.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Good on you, man.
I have to make sure that, dude, I think we were some of the youngest people there.
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that's the case. It's a James Taylor concert. That's a bad thing. I'm just saying, you know. I don't think there's too many millennials watching like a Bob Seger show or something, you know?
No.
You're not a millennial, but I'm just making a point.
I wore the African. I had to represent, no doubt. But
Good
what
for
you said you're looking forward to this, though.
I think Coogler, if he's going into this again, if he actually took on the role of, you know, doing this sequel, he's going to do it justice because he did the other one justice. And I think that we're going to have these moments of just watery eyes. This time around.
Dude.
And I really hope that they can do that and that Marvel doesn't do the Taika Waititi. I know they're two different people, obviously. I just don't want to see any of the Thor humor in this.
I don't think he has it in him to do it.
I don't mind some jokes to lighten up the mood. Marvel is very good at that, and sometimes they go overboard with it. But I have a feeling if they just mix this just right, it's going to be something special. Possibly the best movie, the Marvel movie of this year, the best Marvel movie of this year.
I mean, everyone unanimously is like, have you seen the reviews online?
No.
Like they'll be doing a bunch of reviews, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, here's the Wakanda Forever trailer. And at the end, they're like having to take wipe their eyes. They're like, well, like they watch She-Hulk first, right? They're like, all right, let's watch this Wakanda Forever. And all of a sudden they're like, they're kind of just having to kind of like I don't think people expected it when you're doing here's my trailer reaction. And all of a sudden you're crying.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm sorry. I didn't expect this to, and it's beautiful to see where it's like, oh, we're not the only ones that felt this way about this. You know, and people that, you know, people that love Black Panther weren't the only ones that were just like, oh, this is an amazing trailer. And it's not because it's sad. It's because of how beautiful the trailer is. And they're like, yeah, this is probably the best trailer Marvel's ever pushed out before. And Coogler, man, I can't wait. I'm giving him all my money. But I really need to make it to the opening night. I'm going to try to actually go on the opening night.
Get the night off, man. I'll go with you.
Trust me, I'm getting the night off. And we're all wearing white.
I'm going to wear plaid. I'm just kidding. I'm just bugging with you. If I go with you, I'll wear white, man. What the hell? I still got to know why exactly. Is this a funeral thing? Is this a mourning thing? What are we doing?
It's kind of like the beginning thing. And all of a sudden one cat was like, hey, we wearing white, right? And next thing you know, everybody's like, hey, you know, we're wearing white to the show. And also black folks be having white parties.
Just everyone wearing white.
Yes.
I've seen this before.
I took Belle to one.
Did she wear white?
Yes, she did. She did. It was a big bash too, and I did a quick speech for my buddy's birthday.
There was an all-white party down the street from my house, now that I think about it.
What?
It was a graduation party.
Brothers?
Yeah, we got this black family. They moved in probably about a year ago. And no, 2 years ago. And last summer when their kid graduated, they had an all-white party.
What?
Yeah, I just remembered right now when you were talking about it, but yep.
Did you go?
No, I haven't met them or anything.
Oh, did you go by there and be like, hey?
They're just like, you know, when I'm driving down my street and I got to turn, they're the first house I see. They're at the very end of the street.
I've done that thing where the guy across the street, his son graduated high school, and they were like, hey, you know, people were stopping by and beeping, and I pulled over and got out and gave the kid a hand. But like, man, you don't know me, but congratulations. Where your life starts, man. Like, this is where it happens. Do your thing. Congratulations.
You got out of your car to do that. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, because I was just, it kind of, for some reason, I'm like, oh, look at this kid, man. It's just starting. And I was having one of those midlife days where I'm just like, hey, take the world by storm, bro.
You were feeling it.
Seriously. I was like, take it by freaking storm, dog. He's like, okay. I was like, no, that's not true. You better do what I say.
Sir, get off my lawn. Stop talking to my son or I'm going to put you on Reddit. You'll be on public freakouts. Hey, Steve, before we go, let's do a couple of reviews real quick. I know we're kind of cutting back on what we're watching, but there have a couple biggies came out, and I'm curious what your thoughts are going to be on these here. Two that I want to talk about, it would be Nope, of course. We're a day late and $1 short on that one, but of course we were planning on talking about that. And then the recently dropped Prey, which is the Predator prequel on Hulu. Where do you want to talk about first?
Let's do Nope.
All right. I'm curious what you're going to say this time around here. So, all right, we'll talk about Nope. Why not? The residents of a lonely gulch in inland California bear witness to an uncanny and chilling discovery. This is directed by Jordan Peele, written by Jordan Peele, and stars Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Brandon Perea, and, of course, Stephen Yeun, and Ren Schmidt, who was not expecting to see. Who's Ren Schmidt? She's on For All Mankind. She plays Margot.
So good to see her.
It was good to see her. She looks completely different when she's not playing
Even though
Margot,
she's
by
a
the way.
traitor.
And there's also, we didn't even talk about that. And then, of course, Keith David shows up for a little bit, too.
Of course he does.
Just for a quick little coin drop. But
Of course.
well, let's talk about that one. So, you know, we started off and we had Get Out, which kind of took the horror realm by storm because we saw something different. We saw a different side of excuse me, we saw a different side of Jordan Peele. And then, of course, Us came out. Now, me personally, I liked Us better than Get Out. I thought that was a very well put together movie. And quite honestly, these days, I'm still thinking about that one. I still wonder the Hands Across America thing. We're like, where are we going to go with this? And I was kind of hoping, not that I'm implying disappointment, but I was kind of hoping that we were going to get some wrap up with that because there was at least to the best of my knowledge, there was talk at one point of him sort of wrapping up that universe with the third movie and maybe tying it all together. Not the case. That did not happen. Instead, we got something that was more of a sci-fi. It wasn't horror. I would not call this movie horror. I would call it sci-fi slash... I don't know, man. This movie had a really trippy feel to it. And before... I think you're going to have more of an opinion on this one. So I kind of want to know what your thoughts are on Nope, and then I'll give you mine.
Well, when I walked into Nope, I didn't exactly know what to expect. My mind was sort of open, seeing what the whole vibe was going to be. I had a feeling I thought it was going to be horror, like he did these other times but a little way through, I'm like, oh, it's not going to be. This movie is still very Jordan Peele, has a very Jordan Peele ambiance to it. Eric Kaluuya, let me tell you something. Keke is a star. This woman is a star to me. I could have watched her for a million years. But I think the tough part about this movie is he really throws you a curveball. He's like, yeah, all the movies you've seen me direct so far, it's going to be nothing like it. Nothing like it. And you're going to have to just accept that in order to like this movie. Not a lot's going to happen. Some things are going to happen. Not a lot's going to be explained. Some things are going to happen without an explanation. You're going to be wondering, like, how did they even know that? Like, what? But you just have to accept it. I was one of the people that was willing to accept it. So I liked the movie. I liked it. Did I love the movie like I did for Us and Get Out? No, but I think he still delivered a movie that I had never seen I had never seen the idea like it before. You know what I'm saying? I've seen ships, but I'd never seen what he decided to do. And so I'm like, it was something new. So I like the movie. I would watch it again. And I would say, if someone was like, hey, should I watch it? I'd be like, absolutely. You don't have to see it in theaters. It's something you could rent, but I would recommend you seeing it just so you could finish off the trilogy of Jordan Peele movies. But I thought it was good. I liked it. What did you think?
Kind of right there with you. I was expecting, I wasn't really sure what I was expecting going into this one, but I was expecting to be hit with the intensity of Us. You know what I mean? At least something like that. And as anyone that's seen the movie, well, I shouldn't say anyone because everyone has a different opinion, but I came out more how you are feeling. I liked it. I did not hate the movie. But I will say this. When the lights came on, Gail and I looked at each other, and I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. I don't know. I differ. My opinion differs about Keke Palmer. I thought she bugged the living shit out of me in this movie.
Really?
I just did not like her character. I just thought that it's one of those things where, like, the situations that pop up in this movie, I'm sorry for my babbling, are happening as intensely as they are. I don't think the humor is supposed to be there. Do you know what I mean? And there's just some things that she said that kind of just, I don't know. She was just doing things in this movie that made, to me, and I've heard a lot of people say they love Keke Palmer in this movie, but Gail and I personally did not like her and thought she was the worst part of this movie. And we're probably in the minority saying that. But this is one of those movies I had to go back after. I don't like doing this, but sometimes I will. I will come out of the theater. I got home and I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I don't think I hated it. I'm not sure I liked it.
Yeah.
But it's like thought provoking. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then I do the thing where I go online and I start kind of seeing what other people are thinking about it. And it starts pulling in these different ideas that I didn't necessarily see the first time around.
Yeah.
I get it. And I recognize it immediately when they started talking about it. But like how this movie focuses on like animal exploitation. I got that. But I think sometimes people are sort of reaching into, I don't know if that's Jordan Peele's.
I think some people, like they say, you're thinking harder than the director.
Yes. I totally feel that way with this one. Now, there are some very weird moments that make me kind of go, okay, what does this signify? For instance, the shoe in the scene with the chimp. And
I don't know what that meant.
Like, I don't know if that's just like
I don't know what the chimp meant.
Again, I think this is coming off of like going on Reddit and just trying to find. I wasn't trying to make myself like the movie more. I just kind of wanted to know if other people were feeling the same way I was feeling. But in the process of that, you start hearing these little tidbits of what people are saying, and this movie's focusing heavily on like the animal exploitation and how people are profiting off of this and how it doesn't always work in their favor. For instance, the character of Ricky Jupe Park, who was the kid in that television show, he watched this chimpanzee mutilate one of his co-stars. I think the chimp might have killed some other people too, but it was this horrific situation that he saw firsthand, and he learned to not look him in the eye. No, I'm sorry. He didn't look him in the eye. We find this out later. This is the Jordan Peele part of it is all, because it ends up coming out from Daniel Kaluuya, actually, that you should not look this thing in the eye. It's a respect thing. And I think that he somehow roundaboutly figured that out because the chimp did not, he didn't look him in the eye. And then the chimp did the fist bump thing that they did. That was like their trademark, episode thing that they did.
Yeah.
And then, of course, takes a bullet to the head. So years later, Ricky Jupe Park has now created Jupiter's Claim that more or less, like, I don't know exactly why he took the turn it did, but it was like a cowboy kind of, show that they were doing. Yeah. But there was like this whole other back area where he would rent out his office, which is this little room that had all of the memorabilia from the show. The name is driving me crazy. Morty or something like that. But where people want to stay the night in there, and they're paying him insane amounts of money. So he's capitalizing off of a horrific event, again, involving the exploitation of animals.
Yes.
And then take it even one step further. And I'm kind of broken up about this because I'm still thinking about this movie this way. He takes it one step further by taking some of the horses that OJ was selling to him, and he's feeding them to this, well, I guess it's all out now. We're thinking it's like a UFO, a flying saucer, because we're made to think that because we literally see a flying saucer on the screen, but there's so much more to it. And we end up finding out that it's not really a flying saucer. It's more of I don't know. Has it always been here? Is it just another animal that's been around on Earth forever? And we're just seeing it now. I mean, and that's where I started thinking about it. It's like you think of like cave drawings and stuff where they show discs in the sky. Was that always what it was? Yeah. Was what keeping the population under control? I don't know. But this thing was a predator. And if you made eye contact with it, you were considered a threat and it would take you out. And so, I don't know, man. The whole thing is, I was just having a hard time putting this movie together. Maybe I'm the dumb one.
No.
Especially after watching, these different reviews that I've seen and stuff like that. And people are like, oh, well, it's clearly this. Or like, I guess I'm just the dumb fucking guy in the room then, because I feel like people are reaching a little bit because they want to make this a better movie than it is.
Are reaching, yes.
I really feel that way. So I liked it, but my first impression was I don't think I liked it. Like I actually appreciated some insight going, okay, I can kind of see what they're talking about, but I will be the first person to tell you that I did not put two and two together when I'm watching this movie. And it took other people's opinions for me to get that. And so I don't know. Am I more into these people's reviews and their ideas of what this movie's supposed to represent? Or am I into, the movie Nope? I will say one thing. I think this is his best cinematography that he's done in any of his movies so far. Like those night shots were fucking incredible. Yeah. And I'm not one to normally talk about like cinematography in movies, but he was doing some shit that I personally have not seen on screen ever. The swooping down of Jean Jacket, the I guess you'll call it the antagonist, the alien, whatever you want to call it, was phenomenal. Seeing the gaping mouth open up and how they filmed, people being abducted and processed, if you will, in this was all stuff that I truly hadn't really seen before. And I thought it was very inventive of how he did it, very creative. And I appreciate his little, sleight of hand stuff that he does. And so it's definitely a Jordan Peele movie to me. I just think that I don't want to really compare it between the other two because I guess I am comparing it, but they're just, to me, those were far better movies. They were more structured. I didn't have to really think as hard about it, maybe say for us. But this one here, I'm looking at a movie where you're selling me a spaceship, but in the end, we're talking about animal exploitation. I think I just haven't quite figured out this movie just yet. So I have a rating for it.
What's your rating?
I think I'm going to give it like a 2.75 out of 5.
That's fair.
It's fair. It's a little bit better than a half perfect movie. And it's, like I said, the cinematography was fantastic. This is something that I want to watch again and see now that I've kind of collected this information. Can I apply it in real time and go, okay, I see what people are talking about? Or again, is it just speculation and bullshit and people trying to make the movie better than it is?
Now, I know that his cinematographer, Hoyt van Hoytema,
that's a name right there.
I know. It's Christopher Nolan's cinematographer that he used for this film.
Okay.
So he used a good guy.
Yeah, he definitely had an A-list of people.
Yes, he got a big, you could tell it's very daunting. When they show, the planes, like the actually how much land there is, I'm like, man, that's a lot of. And then it makes you realize, well, something could have been hiding there because of all that space. And then when they realize that that cloud hasn't moved, no one would have caught that. People can be living there for 30, 40 years. It would have been like, I never realized that freaking cloud never moved. Who would have thought? But yeah, I would give this movie. It's not like, it's just a run. It's better than average. And I thought it was, again, I would watch it again. I'd probably give it a 2.95 out of 5 piercing keys
Oh, I didn't even give my little goofy thing, huh? I'm going to go ahead and give it Mysteriously Standing Shoes.
Yeah. But I'd watch it again, no question.
Yeah. I think this is the kind of review that if we really, like if we said, hey, we're going to sit down and we're going to do a bonus episode just of Nope, there's a lot more things that we could bring to the table to talk about it. But if we're doing a fairly quick review, and honestly, I kind of feel like that's, for us, that's what this warrants. I don't really know if we need
I don't know what else I could say.
You know what I mean? And we could talk about, remember this and what did this mean kind of thing. But
Steven Yeun was great.
He was great. I didn't like his character. I thought he was a terrible person. You know what I mean? But he was great. It was just this, I don't know. There's just a lot of things to this movie that I have questions about. And I don't know if that necessarily makes it a better movie because of that, or if it's a flaw. Why did they bring back the actress that was mutilated to observe on that particular day?
Yeah, that was weird.
Just little things like that I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if someone was to pick Peele's mind and he was in the mood to tell him what he really, why he did these things, there's obviously an answer for it. But I don't know. There's just sometimes I don't want to think that hard about it. And for this particular movie, that's just one of those times I just don't feel like I want to invest any more energy into really figuring out what this is. If I watch it again and it comes out and I've gathered some information and I can apply it then, great. But if not, there's nearly no loss with it. And I hope that this isn't his last movie. I hope he does one that's just a little more going out with a pop, with a bang,
I really hope he does come back.
And I will say the creature design for that, it was interesting. I don't know if it was, I was more impressed with the spaceship with the orifice. And then it turned into I don't know what the fuck that was that it turned into.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember being in the movie going, I'm not feeling what I think I'm supposed to be feeling with this one. Am I in a mood? Sometimes that happens. Am I in a mood? And maybe that's what it is. And I went at the wrong time because I was supposed to go the day of, and that's when I found out I had COVID. So I was kind of bummed. I had to wait a whole week, and I was thinking, is that part of it? I didn't get the hype when I walked in, but no, I don't think that's the case. I think that this movie is asking me to think harder than I really want to think about it.
That's not a bad thing. That's fair.
No, it could have been a lot worse, man. It could have been. And I'll tell you this, I liked it more than, not that I'm not really comparing, but I will say I liked it more than the Thor movie.
Oh, I mean, that does, yeah.
The more I think about Thor Love and Thunder, the more I hate it, if I'm being honest with you.
I knew that was going to be the case.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like seeing Jane Foster. I like seeing some of the things. I love the Christian Bale gore. But that is a very forgettable movie, in my opinion.
I have not thought about it since.
Yeah, it's just not a great movie. But we're not talking about that. We were talking about Nope, and that is our short review. Now, quickly, before we get out of here, I just watched another movie last night, which is a sequel, ladies and gentlemen, a sequel to the original Predator.
Prequel.
What I say? I'm sorry. I said sequel, didn't I? A prequel. You're right. I'm sorry. Correct me, and you did. Prey is a 2022 American period science fiction action horror film directed by Dan Trachtenberg?
Trachtenberg, yeah.
And written by Patrick Eisen, based on Predator franchise by Jim Thomas and John Thomas. Fifth installment in the franchise and a prequel to the first four films. There it is. Prequel. I'm going to say it, Steve. I think this fucking movie is the best one since the first one.
Wow. I've heard a lot of people say that.
Did you know that there is a Comanche dub with it?
I did.
See, that's the thing. We watched the movie and I did not see that originally. So I'm watching this film and I'm going, okay, I like that, we're able to understand it. And I know that they're doing English because they want the majority to understand the movie. But this should have been in another language. That's the first thing I was thinking. This should have just all been in Comanche. And had I known that, I would have watched the Comanche cut just because it felt like, I'm just glad they did that, because I think that would have been my one knock to the film is, why did you use such American style English with that? Even if they were being Comanches and they didn't have the accents weren't there, that kind of thing. And to me, for the first few minutes, it kind of took me out of the movie. Once I was able to get past that, I thought this movie was fucking dope, dude. The character of Naru, she's awesome. And what's her name? Amber Midthunder? I've never heard of her before, but I know we'll be hearing from her again real soon.
I hope.
She was great, dude. I mean, the action was great in this. I loved the not to play on words, but the predatory actions of the predator. Seeing some things that we hadn't seen before. I like that they used a line. Usually I don't like this, but I like that they used a line from the original movie in this one. Did you catch that?
I did not.
They said, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny. When he said that, I've heard it in so many movies that I'm like, oh, I've heard that. I didn't know that the first person to use it was that.
I believe it was from the original Predator, yeah.
Oh.
But
yeah, 'cause I've heard it in so many movies.
This movie had me all the way through, dude. It was just great action. I just loved what they did with her character and how she, her whole arc, basically, of why she was out there in the first place. She was trying to prove herself to all of her peers or her, the elders, whatever you want to call it, in her tribe. But she was just a badass. It'd be one thing if it was like a movie like, oh God, now I'm forgetting it. But you know how sometimes we'll get movies, and the one I'm thinking of is a Karen Gillan movie. Milkshake, maybe? Milkshake?
Oh, Milkshake. Milkshake. I know what you're talking about. It's with Alfred Woodworth in it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an entertaining
Peanut butter
movie.
Milkshake?
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
That was an entertaining movie, but anytime they got into the action, it just pulled you out of it because it was very bad action choreography. Not this one. They were killing it, dude. And just the we've seen Predator in so many different movies, but for me, it just felt like a completely different environment. I loved that they had no concept of aliens or anything. And, and in the other movies too, it's kind of like a, that's unheard of type situation. Aliens, what are you talking about? But in this one, this is 300 years ago. So when people are looking to the skies, they're writing shit on cave drawing, they're like cave drawings. And that's where I would assume they would get their information from, is by observing what they see in the sky and around in nature and making their own interpretation of it. I liked that. Like she said, I saw the Thunderbird as they're, right at the beginning when she's seeing the ship go over and all that. And so you're seeing it from this more, less advanced mentality. I liked all of that. And the fact that they weren't afraid of it and they were just willing to they wanted to kill this fucking thing versus running from it all the time, which again, if we're talking about like the original Predator, that's what these guys all went out to do, was to take this thing out. I don't know, man. I really can't say enough about this one. I want to watch it again almost immediately because I think I would actually like it even more.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have a feeling you're going to say something different right now, and that's quite all right. It won't deter me from how I'm feeling about this movie. But I honestly think it is, out of all the other ones that I've seen, this to me is the second best in the franchise.
All right. So I have love for the Predator films, only because I love sci-fi, I love horror. So I hold the old Predator films fairly in high regard. As I told you before, I used to listen to Dan Trachtenberg on his podcast and his show, and he to see him rise to Cloverfield Lane and now he's doing this is amazing. Number one. So more power to him in even doing that. And then before I watched the movie, I saw everyone saying, oh, this is the best thing we've ever seen. And, oh, it's the best Predator movie. And, oh, so automatically I'm just like, here we go.
Yeah. And I've been there. I've been there with you.
Freaking go, dude. And then I watched the movie and I'm like, they were freaking right. And it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck that they were right. But I was like, when a lot of people think a thing, sometimes the thing is kind of right. And dude, what he has done with this movie is magic.
Yeah.
It is. And the funny thing is, my favorite fight scenes aren't even the one everyone's going to be talking about. One of my favorite fight scenes is the one with the snake. It wasn't even a fight scene.
Yeah, all of the wildlife stuff.
Yeah, that's the
bear fight scene was phenomenal.
And here's the thing. What I loved about that is they showed how, hey, this bear almost took down a predator. So y'all might need to take your bear spray when you go on these hikes. He's lucky he got him because he almost took him out. If he would have kept on him, he might have killed that predator. If he would have just kept on.
Oh, without a doubt. And again, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Exactly. And those bears, he was ripping at him. And so I was like, okay, I love how they made the bear super powerful. He just happened to get one over on him. And the snake, how quick he was. He's like, bro, if you strike me, I'm going to hurt you. And sure enough, he hurt him. And the wolf, how he didn't even know he was sliced. He was like, all right, I'm ready to charge him again. wait a minute, feeling kind of woozy. Ooh, mama. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. And then my other favorite fight scenes were when our main protagonist was fighting everyone in that village. That fight scene was dope.
Fighting those French dudes?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That was the fight scene.
That's what we kept saying is like, this chick's a badass. Like, she's just
That
a badass.
was it. Yes, that was it. And then my other favorite fight scene was her brother fighting the Predator. He was dope.
Yeah. How worried were you for the dog?
I was not, because I knew for a fact that was just a bridge too far.
I'm just thinking, if you kill this dog.
Exactly. And she wouldn't let that happen. Like, and I think he's like, we don't want to make it so that, because there's no way that the Predator would see that dog as like, is it really like a predator to me?
Yeah, because they've always been that way, but to the best of my understanding, the predator, or the alien, that is the predator that we call it, is always coming down and it's looking for the apex.
Bingo.
The apex,
and that dog has
predator.
not, because remember, he looked at that snake, killed that mouse. He's like, oh, that's the apex down there. And then the wolf killed the rabbit. He's like, oh, that's the apex. The dog never did anything. So he's like, you haven't proven to me that I should even waste my time.
And they kind of proved it too when they're in the camp and they were tied up. And she's like, we're not the threat. They're the threat.
We are not the threat.
We're the bait.
And I think the only interesting thing that I thought, and I think it sets up why the helmets don't do that anymore, is like, wait, the helmet can't distinguish that you are actually its owner?
That was interesting. Yeah, they had to go back and make some firmware, upgrades.
Exactly. They're like, okay, note to self, she kind of cheated. So let's make sure these helmets can't do that.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was great.
I loved it. Oh, no, I loved it. And you know the one thing I missed, dude? And I love that he didn't have this yet. Remember when he had that missile, that thing on his shoulder that could reverse and shoot behind him?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm glad he didn't have it here, because it would have been ridiculous. But he did have that net he still had. So I was like, oh, he had the net way back then. And I did not like how he cheated using that little bomb thing. I'm like, no.
Are you talking about the one where the 3 discs come up?
Yeah, that's some bull crap. He should have been head up with them. Was he worried that he was going to get hurt? He should have been head up. And I also really enjoyed the fact when she pulled him into the the quicksand or whatever that was, when he went under, and I was like, yeah, you forgot that dude is 7 foot tall. So he just like, yeah, I can reach the bottom.
Yeah. I love the slow rise.
Yes. But she's like, no, I didn't forget. I know what I'm doing. I loved it. I thought this movie it was so good. And there's even I haven't read up on it yet, but that gun was an Easter egg. There's a bunch of articles right now about what that gun means that she has. It apparently goes back to many different movies. So I was like, let me read up on that later. I just didn't have time to read up on it now. I loved it.
I just loved how they were, already showing how they collect the spines. How he just rips out the spinal column attached to the skull. That's like, because Gail hadn't seen the Predator before.
Oh, dude.
And I was telling her, I'm like, yeah, like they don't really show it too much in the first, but in the second one, dude, Danny Glover goes into the space into his ship, and he's got that wall of skulls and everything like that. So they're collecting for trophies.
Remember they had the alien skull?
Yeah. That's what I told her.
Hold on real quick, okay? There's a knock. Hold on real quick. Okay, yeah, man. I thought that there was I didn't see her coming back to her family with the head though.
That was dope. No, Gail called it. Gail called it. She's very good at that sometimes. She's like, she's going to come back. And she wasn't saying it in a negative way. She just called it. She's like, she's going to come back to the camp carrying the head, and she's going to have the blood all over her face. And sure as shit, that's what she did.
And I love how she said, she was like, hey, this place ain't safe anymore. And that's the only sad thing. I was like, you have no idea what new predators are coming in the form of white people.
Yeah. Well, they were already there.
I know. She's like, we're not safe here. I'm like, oh, you're not safe anywhere now.
Did you catch it's not really an end credit scene, but did you catch the animation at the end?
Oh, not at the end.
So it's not at the very end. They start off with this animation that basically tracks the whole story.
Yeah.
Almost like cave drawings. And the very last shot it's they kill the Predator. She's got the Predator skull in her hands, and they all look up, and there's like several ships coming towards them, and that's how it stops.
Well, but we all know what that means.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
it's because they've been here the whole time, and they were just reinforcing, I guess. That's what I took out of it, right?
No, I took it because remember on the second one with Danny Glover, how
It's been a hot minute.
well, at the end, a bunch of them come through that transportation, whatever, and he's like, "Oh, great, who's first?" And there was a bunch of them after he killed the main Predator, and all they did was come in, take the body out, and they give him a souvenir for the kill he made. So those.
Oh, really? God, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. It's been a long time.
They threw him a souvenir, being like, "Okay, it was fair and square."
If I'm being real, I think I maybe have seen that movie twice. Definitely once, but maybe twice.
That movie's great. I put this on par with that movie. That movie is fantastic because that was the first time we realized that there were a bunch more of them.
Yeah,
but they were also fair and square because there was 9 of them surrounding them. They're like, "No, we're just coming to get the body. You killed him fair and square. Here's a souvenir for your kill." And then these ships, if that's what they showed at the end, these ships were just coming down being like, "Hey, we're getting the body. You killed them fair and square. No question. But this is a cool little hunting ground for us now." You know what I'm saying? We're not going to hunt y'all anymore, but we're going to hunt the next generation. I loved it, dude.
That's pretty cool. I wouldn't have thought of it that way, but I do like that.
I love it. And they're just totally fair creatures. You come for a hunt, you kill our dude, more power to you. Here's a souvenir. But they don't need to give her a souvenir because they have the head.
Yeah, I was trying to tell Gail, I'm like, they're not bad guys.
No.
They're really not. You know what I mean? They're just, they are the ultimate apex predator, and that's what predators do. So, but they're not bad. They're not malicious. They have some pretty awesome ways of killing shit, but they're not malicious.
The dope thing is she's the ultimate apex predator.
Well, she proved it. Yeah.
She proved that she's the ultimate, and some humans are the ultimate, which is why they keep coming back. And I love the fact that, like, when she knew that she couldn't just beat him, you have to hunt him. I'm not, like, Predator isn't a hunter. He's a person that's just like, okay, I'll catch you, but we're fighting. She understood, I have to trap him. We're not going to just go head up. Just like the brother realized. When he went invisible, the brother was like, well, shoot. It's over. What are we going to do?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
What a dope thing they did too with like a foreshadowing with that orange flower that makes your blood go cold.
Dude, that was really cool. And I also loved, remember that one kill he made where he took out his 2 blades, the Predator, chopped off the dude's legs and then stabbed him to a log?
Yeah.
Holy. That's when you're getting frustrated, where he's just like, I'm sick of these dudes. I'm sick. Like, I loved it. I really thought that the movie was fantastic. Cannot wait to see what Trachtenberg. I hope they put him in charge of this franchise, but also he might be like, you know what? I don't want to just be doing Predators for the rest of my life.
No, I mean, at least he came back and said, look, this franchise is not dead. It's nowhere near dead. And this is what you can do with it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I would really love someone taking the helm from, if he doesn't want to do another one, I would really love to see someone's vision, like a legitimate, like he's a horror film, like Cloverfield Lane, he made it like a horror movie. I would love to see what a horror movie director does with it. But he's really good at doing action. The only thing I would say was a knock is the CG was rough.
Yeah, yeah.
However, maybe that means that they didn't do they didn't put them through brutal hours. They made them work 8-hour normal days. And this is what if that's the case, he only was like, hey, the workers worked 8 hours for the CG and they did what they could. I'm more power to them.
And they clearly did more with less.
No question. I believed, and here's the thing, if someone's like, hey, that ain't no freaking, that's not good CGI. If I was like, hey, bro, what do you think that is? Oh, it's a wolf. I'm like, well, then it's good CGI. You knew
you saw what it was.
What right? It was. Exactly.
You know what I told Gil? I said, I want to see that grizzly bear go up against the one with the Revenant and see who wins.
Bruh. Here's the thing. You know what really I loved about that fight is Predator took him out with a punch. He punched him to death.
Knocked him the fuck out.
Knocked him the hell. He said, okay, fisticuffs, my friend. Fisticuffs.
Put up your dukes, sir.
Put up your dukes, I say. And that dude knocked him, because you saw how he was still kind of like snoring when he was out. He was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, G.
It's like watching them street fight videos when someone gets laid out. Is he snoring or is he struggling breathing? Which one is it?
At least he didn't do that death twitch that they do when they get their head hit on the concrete. You're like, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. I know. It's a bit
I
much.
hate that. But yeah, I loved it, man. And what's your rating? I want to hear your rating. I have a feeling you're going to go.
For me, I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll go 4.25 out of 5 glowing blood streaks.
Ooh. I will give this movie 3.75 stomped upon stumps.
There it is.
Hey, man, I wouldn't have said nothing if he stomped on it, bro. Just be quiet.
That's kind of hard to do, dude. That's easier said than done.
The first thing I said was like, hey, why'd you even say anything?
I was like, that's the only way. Like he would have been scot-free. The guy's like, nope, I'm stepping on this motherfucker.
But the thing is,
Sacre-bleu!
he just should have just said nothing. Let him step on it. Realize that the death you're about to get, well, actually, it wasn't that bad. It was fairly quick. He just stabbed him through the heart. And it was like, he didn't like chop off a bunch of appendages. I still would have shut up.
Look at Steve being the armchair expert for Predator.
Hey, bro, look, here's the thing. I have ideas of how to beat him, Jay.
Well, you are able to fight animals, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. He punched out a grizzly bear. I think it's dope that the grizzly was like, I don't care if you're invisible, G. I'm a grizzly bear, cuz Lito.
I'm a fucking grizzly bear. What do you want to do here?
But I did like it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was fantastic, so I'm glad I watched it. Man.
Dope, man. I'm glad. Yeah, we agreed on that one, and it's fantastic. Nope, we kind of agreed on it in a way, too, a little bit.
Hey, I missed the credit scene. What happened on it?
For Nope?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a end credit scene.
There is an after credit scene.
I will have to look it up and see. I'll get the spoiler because I'm not going back to the theater for that one.
No, I think because someone said it's Steven Yeun and Kaluuya. There's a poster of them, like it's a carnival poster where they display the body of the thing or something.
Oh, damn.
Something like that, where it's just like it's not over.
Every movie now, I think I just have to stay to the end. I think that's what they want you to do.
Well, you know what? The weird thing is the Russo brothers' recent movie didn't have a post-credit sequence. It just was over.
Gray Man?
Yeah.
The Not Great Man?
I like that movie a lot, man.
You know what? I got to watch it again. I'll be fair because I was COVID brained at the time, but I got to get out of here. But I will say that Chris Evans' character bugged the living shit out of me from what I saw. You got jokes for everything, dude? Really? You're just that guy all the time? Okay.
Damn, you got to watch it again.
I will watch it again to be fair.
All right.
All right.
Let us out, bruh.
We are out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to yet another episode of your friendly Heroes of Noise, episode 139. Guess what? We're coming back with 193, I should say. We're coming back with 194 real soon. That's it for me. I don't have anything witty to say other than, Steve, do you want to take us out, say something charming, and then we'll go?
People, I love you so much. And A, don't be prey to your fears. I love y'all.
Nice. See what he did right there? And don't be an alien with an orifice.
Hey!
All right. My name is Dan Ramirez. That is Steve Hudson. We are the Heroes of Noise. People, be good to yourselves. Be good to the people around you. We're back, all right? Peace.